We have some very, very sad news out of Port Charles this morning. I'm just so sad to tell you that Colonel Not Tad Martin is deceased and he has been resurrected as evil lawyer Martin Gray. What the heck you born? We'll talk about it more after the break. I don't know what the writers are thinking, but to kill off the adorable Southern gentleman who sold us fried chicken and replaced him with the awful, scheming Martin Gray, it's like he drank the Drew Kool-Aid, and I am so over it.
Well, it is Halloween, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but yeah, R.I.P. Not Tad Martin.
Yeah, well, since it's Halloween and I'm wearing my costume, my Mama Snark costume, I thought I would identify myself. I'm Leanne Bremer. I am Mama Snark. And this is my co-snarker, Snark Jr., David. And we are the people who somehow decided that mocking General Hospital would be a super fun thing to do. And here we are.
Yet analytically mocking sometimes.
Analytic. There you go. It's intellectual mocking.
It's intellectual mocking. Well, before we get started, I'm David Lally, a.k.a. Snark Jr., because at one point in time, we decided we needed to differentiate who's actually doing the snarking. So that's why you see those little tags on the screenshots, although 99.9% of the time, they call me Mama. So
well, and for the record,
you're infamous.
We are 9 years apart in age. I am not his mother. Granted, I was very mature at 9, but I did not have a snarky child at that age.
And if you did, you'd probably would have smacked him across the head. Mama, before we get started, I just want to do a little shout out and thanks to all the people who sent me condolences because my series on Amazon Prime, Butterfly, which premiered this past August, was canceled after one season. But I was in good company because Jensen Ackles of Supernatural had a new show as well, which was also canceled after one season. And that's just the way it is. I mean, when people started saying, I'm so sorry, what are you going to do? And, I'm thinking, like, what are they talking about? I finished work on that show a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So that's in the rearview mirror. I'm always on to the next job. But yeah, it is sad it didn't get a second season, and it was a joy to work on. Although I was working on it for 2.5 years because I was hired in March of 2023. Then we had the actor strike and the writer strike. And so everything that was supposed to be done in 2023 got done in 2024. It was supposed to premiere in January of 2025, but got shuttled back to the worst month to premiere a TV show, August, when everybody's going on their vacations and finishing up their summers. So I think it made the top 3 once or twice, but everybody I've talked to who saw it loved it, but that's just the nature of television, and we roll with it. Just like we roll with GH.
It's what happens in this business, and when you're in the business, rejection is part of it. You can freak out about it if you want to, but most of your life would be in a state of freak out if that were the case.
Right. It's like that job's done, on to the next thing.
Right.
So, speaking of the next thing.
Speaking of on to the next thing, I really have a problem, and I mentioned this morning on the page. The final shot in yesterday's episode was of Monica's last will and testament from the offices of Howard Wentworth. And I would like to go on the record right now and saying Howard Wentworth did Monica dirty. Why the hecky darn isn't that whole thing in some giant estate trust where everything is taken care of and poor whoever eventually gets the house won't have to pay all the taxes on it? It's like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, not a very good thought out will. Well, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. My problem with the will is, and it's always this way on a soap opera. You get this, you get that. You get this. It's like random, like what is Michael going to do with horses, cars, and yachts if he's not living at the estate? Like, where's he get, that's more of a burden. If somebody left me those things, I'd be like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Now I got to board horses at a stable. I got to find a yard to park my yacht in. And
I
where am I
hope
going to put all my cars?
I hope when all is said and done and it comes out that Marty was the one who delineated all these random things to people. Well, it
Yeah.
is. I mean, obviously the jar of pickle Lila was obviously Marty's doing.
And how did he know that? Was that ever mentioned to him? Or I guess he did his research.
Yeah, he just went on the General Hospital wiki page and
Here
checked
you
it
go.
out.
Jordan Watt helped him. And was that the most clunky reveal in daytime history?
Oh
It
my
was like all
gosh.
exposition.
Yeah.
As you know, Ronnie, you're just involved with this as much as I am.
I read an article in one of the soap pages yesterday where they were talking, I think you posted it on our page, where they were talking about the Erica Slezak experience and how,
Yeah.
yes, as we've said, it's wonderful to have her on our screen. We love this. We love the idea of her being Monica's sister, but not like this. And this person said, can we keep the door open? Can we keep the door open for like an annual Erica visit? I would like that. Even if she
If
doesn't
she's
have a
willing.
storyline, even if she's like Lois and just kind of wafts in and out now and then, just to
Her little
see
story
her
arc.
would be.
What I don't get, and this is quite interesting. I don't know if you've read some of the comments on the page, but this is the hill that people will die on. If Drew gets the Quartermain mansion, I will stop watching General Hospital. Like that's the thing that's going to get you to
That's the
stop.
Drew activity that you draw the line at.
Some of the most horrible storylines have occurred from 2015 on, and that's the hill you're going to die on. I would have thought Man Landers would have done it, but or Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders. But no, it's the Quartermain mansion.
The whole problem with the story, as we have talked about, is we knew it was a self-contained box story, right? Once you open the box and the story comes out, then you put the lid back on the box and you put it back on the shelf. It was a stunt casting situation. It was a very poorly designed storyline. And we always knew going in, this is a 6-week bit. This is going to be resolved in 6 weeks. And so now we're like in the final week. We just have to gird up our loins and get through the rest of this.
Yeah, it was like a ticking time clock because every day Ronnie was on, I was thinking, how many scenes did she film? How close are we to the end? Yeah. It was hard to enjoy it. I think I enjoyed it more this week because it was a little more high stakes and she was a little more involved with things than I have the last several weeks. Knowing it's just this limited, as you said, we're putting the box back on the shelf now. It's just like with any good soap opera, is this how they're going to affect the canvas long term? That Drew has the house now and everybody's out. I mean, we went through this storyline before when Monica kicked everybody out and they lived above Kelly's.
That was a long time ago, though.
Is that what we're going for this time?
Well, if they're going to do that, then do it. Lean in, do it all. Let us see people flailing. Let us see Michael walking the horses down the road, trying to find some place to put them. But the likelihood that they're going to go through with something that complicated is so small. They're just not going to do it. There's one point that I want to make is that we've gotten ourselves in the situation where we're all wondering, what's the end game for Drew? So what they're doing with Drew is really interesting. Yeah. So we have his ickiness builds up, then something happens and he kind of levels off. And then and it's doing this. And it's just this escalating horror show. And as one of our patrons made a very interesting post yesterday, and she pointed out that there's no balance in this story. It's always Drew winning. And if he does get knocked down, it's just this much. So what is the ultimate end game here? Is he going to be doing this in 15 years? Do we have to live through this? I mean, what's going on here? What are your thoughts?
Like you said, it's like a roller coaster. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up. Getting shot should have been we're going down.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like, we went down a little and now we're going back up. Exactly. And again, we've complained about this many, many, many times. General Hospital, where are you going with the plot? And it starts out great, gathers steam, and then goes off the tracks. They don't know where they're going with it. So they'll either just eventually forget about it, not resolve it, and just move on like they usually do. What frustrates me is, the writers to me are like little children. They get a new toy and they're fixated on that toy and they want to play with that toy all the time. They'll sleep with that toy. They won't give up that toy. Then all of a sudden, oh wait, there's a new toy over here. And it's like, we kind of saw this week. It was like, I think Tuesday's episode, maybe. All of a sudden the show starts and there's all these other plot lines that like haven't been addressed for weeks. Now it's like, oh, we need to go back to these things that we kind of just let drop. You can't let storylines drop.
Where is Richard Lansing? Rick, is he still stuck in the shower trying to scrub off the stink? Where is Rick?
Yep, we rescued him. He was checked out of the hospital, and we haven't heard from him since. Yeah, there's so many drop plots, including the murder mystery. It's given like lip service. Yeah. All this week, all we talked about, Mike, it has to be Michael set up Willow, and, Nina's going to pay off Jacinda, and Michael's going to pay off Jacinda. And it's like, somebody find some clues.
We're stuck in the roundabout. Somebody needs to exit the roundabout and make a move. I will say this though. I did not see the Jacinda Michael chemistry coming. And that is pretty great. The reason I like this, and her name is Paige Herschel, lovely young act. She's also a singer. She's in a jazz band. She's fantastic, right? She's playing this role with such subtlety. I'm really enjoying it. Somebody, your average daily day player, and she's not, she's on recurring now, would come in and they would overhype the escortness of this whole thing or be overly sexualized or whatever, right? She's approached this whole role with a great deal of maturity. Her energy balances Michael's. The new Michael, he's he's intense, he's smoldering, but he's cool in his own way. And Jacinda is matching. Anyway, that's how I view the Jacinda Michael thing. I think it's going to turn out to be something interesting.
To me, she's like a stopgap character because they need to give Michael a romance, but this isn't it.
Right. Because she's not attached to that everyone has to be attached to the canvas, but she's just kind of a walk-in.
she's not anybody's secret daughter.
Yet.
Yeah.
Chris Van Etten is still around. You never know.
Yeah. Paul Hornsby's in jail. Maybe it's time to get him out. I should be careful what I say here. But she's growing on me. What's funny is they've put more effort into backstory and motivation in her character than they do some of the contract players.
Mm-hmm. Which
She's
makes
got more of a background, more of a
I think though I think they're doing a chem test to see how long does this woman stick around. Is she just here? Is she just here for the murder mysteries, or is she going to develop into? Because that's happened before, where they bring someone on for 1 or 2 days, and all of a sudden they go, this is better than we thought it was.
Well,
and they
Justine Turner, the ADA. They brought her on. She was on here and there. Then they brought her on a little more. Then, of course, they did the, what every female district attorney's job is, to be romanced by Sonny. But hopefully they're writing it so that Justine knows what's going on and is playing it.
I think that's what it is. I made the snarky comment this morning that the General Hospital Constitution insists that Sonny have an affair with every district attorney, with the exception of Paul Hornsby. But that was a fluke, Well,
yeah. That was a stopgap between... Was he? I can't even remember. Was he before Margot or was he after Margot? I don't know. You lose track of the district attorneys. Don't forget the divorce attorney of Carly's that he slept with as well.
Is that man? Yeah. Tiny Sonny's been very busy over the years. That's all I got to say.
He got ugly this week with his little threats to Marco. I would like Sonny more if he didn't go into that sort of, I guess it's flight or fight thing where he gets really mean.
There were a lot of people that were kind of on the mean side. Elizabeth had a mood and she was cranky, and
That's in my recap tonight. I
my
said, I
gosh.
love how characters are, they make these characters, I'm so professional. And then in the next breath, she's like insulting Brett, which anyone could take to HR
Yeah, but
and make a complaint. And then the whole episode, she's like, eavesdropping and making catty remarks. I'm like, no.
Can we make 2026 the year where Elizabeth Weber gets a storyline again?
Yeah.
She wasn't in JJ's return, really. There was no storyline there.
No.
They were barely seen together, and then ever since Finn, it's like they don't know what to do with her. I mean, that was the Finn thing was torture, and now
And
we're
from what I heard, Jonathan, because I was like, Jonathan Jackson won supporting actor. Like, what was submitted? Well, he submitted Aiden's coming out. He submitted, I think, the stuff at Lulu's bedside when the stuff about it. He didn't have, he couldn't donate the kidney. Yeah. It's like, gee, was it anything with Elizabeth? And now he wants to come back. I'm like, no, please don't.
I find these things a little bit fishy because the truth is that JJ was only here for a while and then he got tired of it and wanted to leave. And for him to want to come back.
Executive producers need to stop catering to actors who were popular on their soaps. Because that's the problem. Or stop killing off characters so that when you do bring them back, brother and sister, double resurrection. It could be a normal coming back to town as opposed
right. You don't have to come back from the dead.
You're alive.
There were so many comments, especially on Shouty Thursday yesterday, of people going, why isn't anyone talking about Nathan's resurrection? They're all focused on what Britt was doing in the Five Poppies, but no one is even touching you guys, these people have been dead for years.
Yeah, all the focus with Nathan is with just his relationship with James. I mean, I kind of find it, and again, with these writers, I think it's out of sight, out of mind. You think Nathan would be a little more broken up that his wife is in a coma in Boston. Why don't you go visit her?
If this were real life and we had a loved one who was in a coma, we would be talking about it all the time, right?
We would be going to Boston.
We would be going to Boston. We would be updating. We'd be on the phone to the doctor, all those things. And it's like Maxie just, yeah, she's in a coma, so we don't need to worry. By the way, Lulu's house is a little crowded right now. You might not want to stop by.
Well, what about the whole Portia, Isaiah Curtis?
That was the next thing.
Nonsense.
Can I just say that if we completely eliminated this entire storyline, I would not be mad at all. I hate that Portia is gaslight. Even my niece texted me today. She goes, oh my gosh, Portia is driving me crazy. She's gaslighting everyone and projecting. I'm like, preach. She's driving us all nuts. I can't stand her character.
Well, I mean, it's a little realistic because I've been in some situations and have written some situations.
I was going to say, David, have you had some pregnancy scares in your life?
No, but you project. Assume, somebody who's a bad person like Portia would project onto Jordan that, oh, well, Jordan's just as scheming as I am. So I'm just defending myself. They would, because you protect yourself first. So, I mean, that part of it is very realistic. I feel bad for Jordan because it's like, really, you want to get back with Curtis again? It's like, hold your stance, woman. Don't go back to him, please. I'm begging.
I want a time machine that will take us back to when Jordan and Isaiah were flirty and start over from there. They never should have broken those two up. To put Isaiah with Portia just kind of makes me gag a little. I'm sorry.
Or bring back Zeke, Portia's brother. Even though Jordan got pissed at him, they had chemistry.
They did.
Whatever chemistry Jordan and Curtis had, to me, it's gone. And I don't want her as a character. Soaps ultimately are still a woman's genre. And, all this, oh, we've got strong females on General Hospital. No, you don't. Not a lot. They seem to cave a lot.
They
And I
do,
just
and they
don't
need to
want
be
Jordan to
rescued.
cave.
And they need to.
They need to be rescued. The
Mhm.
princess effect, as I call it,
Yeah, yeah.
where you
Now,
have to, somebody has to come along and save you, no matter what. It's like, no, save yourself. And I'm telling you, Jordan, if you're listening, do not go back to Curtis. You got a
no,
nice
fine.
apartment, a nice job. Find someone else.
We've talked about this on the page. We talked about it on the Snarkcast, and that is that General Hospital has some serious issues with romance, which is the most counterintelligent thing I've ever heard, because what's the point of soap operas? Love in the afternoon, right? With the exception of the youngins, we have nothing but
Yeah.
dysfunctional couples out there. It's just, I mean, we have
And
Carly setting Brennan up and making him think this whole thing.
I did go shopping. I have a Halloween party tonight. I did go shopping for a Halloween costume, and I was very disappointed that Spirit Halloween did not have a Barbara Saunders
Oh,
wig and glasses costume, because I really wanted to go as Barbara Sanders.
David, who is your character of the week this week?
I'm going to surprise you. Well, one's not so much a surprise because it's kind of like we're just on repeat with Tracy. A couple of people said, I wish she would submit herself for Daytime Emmy. I think the Wednesday episode would have done it when she gave that whole speech about Monica and the mansion and everything.
Yeah.
But, and everybody's known, I've had reservations about Erica Slezak's turn on GH, but I'd put her into the mix too because she had more to do this week. So
Both of
I
those
keep
women,
thinking she's going to break out into an altar, but
both of
she's
those
so good.
women were given the ability, they were given scenes where they could really go the range of their acting. And I agree with you. Yes, I was going to choose Tracy as well. We're of the same mind. So my character of the week is Tracy Quartermain, and with a runner-up as Ronnie. And agreed. I'm glad the storyline is winding down with the house situation. I will miss seeing Erica on my TV. Yeah. I was down the rumors and spoilers rabbit hole this morning. Saw some good ones.
Okay.
Maxie returns and finds that her man, not identified, is the one who shot Drew. What? What? Cameron Matheson has been fired from GH because he and Steve Burton got into a fistica fight on set.
Oh, I'm sorry, because my choice was, and again, they all use the same language. The set is shaken to the core over Cam Matheson, once again, fired once again after a confrontation once again, but with Maurice Bernard.
Oh.
Every time I'm on one of these sites, there's some on YouTube, there's a lot on Facebook. I just go fake, because people buy it every single time. Yep. I feel bad for those people.
There's also a real clickbaity horror thing. There's always, you'll see the previews as shocking news. And of course you want to know because there's the one I saw was the picture of Laura Wright and Wes Ramsey together in a picture. Oh. And it says shocking news will break your heart. I didn't click on it because it was clickbait and it probably was not true, but people don't do that. And again, people are being scammed. You heard about the woman being scammed by who thought she was talking to Steve Burton. That scammer or someone like him is still going on. Yeah. So be careful out there, people.
And the worst is announcing someone's death. I mean, that's just cruel.
It is. It's horrible. Yeah. So just be careful of those things. We make fun of them.
Anytime you see a character with their mouth and their eyes bugging out or pointing to somebody or a bullet hole through their head, it's probably not a real.
Probably
not a real link. Yeah. Yeah. We cannot emphasize that enough. Only get your grade A snark
from us.
From us. Yes.
David, do you have a soap recommendation this week?
Don't I always?
Yes.
This week, we're going back to the early 2000s and the movie Gosford Park, which a lot of people don't know, won the Oscar for Best Screenplay because of its writer, Julian Fellows, who you know is the writer and producer of Downton Abbey and The Gilded Age. Well, here's where he cut his teeth. He was a 50-year-old actor when Robert Altman hired him to write this movie because he understood the workings of a turn of the century household in Britain. And as we all love the details on Downton Abbey and we love the details on The Gilded Age, Gosford Park is just as detailed. And the reason I chose it this week is because we're keeping on that theme of murder mysteries. And this is a murder mystery that is, on some levels, very simple, on other levels, very complicated. And I certainly remember the first time I watched it, not having a clue who done it, but of course was satisfied by the ending because it's like, oh, this all makes sense now. But it's a great movie. It's so star-studded, I wouldn't even know to begin. But ironically, Maggie Smith played a dowager in that movie, her title being Trentham, and now, in Downton Abbey, she's Grantham. So they didn't stray far when they created Downton Abbey. As a matter of fact, Downton Abbey was supposed to be basically the spin-off of Gosford Park.
Oh.
And at the last minute, they decided, no, we're going to make it a separate thing, its own thing. So you will see a lot of the roots of Downton Abbey and The Gilded Age in this movie. It's a great, great movie. Leanne, I know you've read some of his novels.
Oh yeah,
correct?
he's a great author. He does the murder mystery really well as the soapier turn of the century, but he understands the way the homes of the gentry, as it
Yes.
were. We're not talking about the people who were milling grains and being maids. We're talking about, he understood how a household works when you have a butler and a valet and all these other things. So there you go.
Yeah, no, he's a wonderful writer, and it's just, I mean, it shows in everything that he does. And to me, what I really like about Julian Fellowes, he reminds me a lot of Edith Wharton. If you read an Edith Wharton novel, you always say the devil's in the details. That's what is so intriguing about an Edith Wharton novel. She's writing about the world she inhabits, but it's all about the details, the little day-to-day things that can, change a character's mind about something or motivates a character. And it's just so fascinating when writers really dig deep like that and really, really research what they're doing. But again, I cannot extol the virtues of this movie enough. Unfortunately, you have to pay for it because it is streaming, but I would say check your local library because that's a staple in many libraries. I'm sure you can get the DVD there. And I'm sure one day, because of Downton Abbey and The Gilded Age, they'll re-release it on physical media. It's just a matter of time.
Excellent.
So, any text messages this week from our wicked stepmother?
Yes. She went with the bard again. So so she goes, regarding GH, the bard said it best. What a tangled web we weave when we first set out to deceive. And she says, boy, is Port Chuckles in a web just in time for Halloween. So yes, indeed, wicked stepmother. Spooky.
I'm going to the first costume party I've gone to in years. My home in South Carolina, I don't have a lot of things unpacked and I wouldn't know where to begin to look for things. I just went out and, like I said, this was my first time in a spirit Halloween. I was impressed.
So what are you going? What's your costume?
Well, originally I wanted to get a Statue of Liberty costume and put a little sign on me saying we're closed and go as government shutdown. So the second best idea I had was I got a police vest and a police hat, and I've got the handcuffs just like Ava. I don't have the ball gag, but Billy Club, I've got a taser, I've got a pellet gun. I'm going as an ICE agent, so
I thought you were going as one of the YMCA guys.
I'm excited about my party tonight. Well, not my party, but the party.
Well, I hope everyone has a great Halloween. But before you get your costume on and you go trick or treating, like, subscribe, leave us a comment. You can email us all the things you want to tell us about all the things. We are everywhere. We are on Substack. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on X. We are on Instagram. Where else are we? And
Substack.
anywhere podcasts can be found. And
Yes.
if you have not been reading David's weekly recaps, you're missing some great reading. They're very funny and very entertaining. So,
Well, thank you. And I seem to pick up on the details that everybody else misses.
well,
The recaps.
everybody have a safe Halloween, have a lot of fun, and we're going to be recording early next week because David's traveling. So you're going to get the Snarkcast a little bit early next week.
Ooh.
Everyone have a safe and sane day. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Over and out.